My name is Cameron, and this is now the third installment, the third video of making ceramics at home during the pandemic. In this video, we'll be learning how to create pinch pots and how to burnish them, which is a technique used by the Native Americans to make pots shiny or more smooth with a rock. So here we go. You're gonna work your clay into a ball by patting and rolling. Now, depending on the size of pot you want to make, you'll want your ball to be smaller or bigger. I don't want a pot this big, so I'm gonna squeeze this into two and just work with this amount. Making it into a ball, we wanna make it as dense as possible and push it all together so that it's as strong as it possibly can be. So, once we have a ball, you're gonna hold it like this and use your thumbs to press into it and create the opening. And instead of not just pressing down, but pressing out also. And you're gonna turn and press again, turn and press again, turn and press again until you have a sizable opening. And then you're gonna use one hand while turning to create the bowl shape. So you're using your fingers to cup it so that it remains in a bowl and doesn't turn into a plate. And using your thumb to thin it out. So you can use both hands, just always turning and always supporting the pushing you're doing with your thumbs with support from your fingers on the outside. And then as you go, you want to feel for any thick spots, because thick spots can lead to cracks or exploding in the kiln. So you want to do your best to make sure the wall of the bowl is very even. Turning and squeezing, turning and squeezing. And it doesn't have to be perfect or perfectly even. It just has to be how you like it. You can make them bigger or smaller, anything you really want. So now that I have my bowl, as you can see, it's not exactly perfect. The lip isn't straight or anything like that. I'm going to use plastic bags to create a nest so that it can dry in the shape of a bowl and doesn't fall into a plate. And a lot of bowls are able to stand freely by themselves, but if you would like to add a foot, it's as easy as creating or rolling out a coil. And you want the coil to be as thick as the wall of your pot. We want consistent thickness. Once you have a coil all rolled out, you want to size it to the size that you want your foot on your pot. You can use a skewer or any type of sharp or flat edge to cut down between the two overlapped pieces. And you can take these extra bits away and it should line right up. And to attach it, we want to use slurry or water, which is, slurry is clay mixed in with water, very liquidy. And we put it on both ends of the coil and on the pot and on the coil. And then we press them together. Water acts like glue when trying to stick clay together. Oops, sometimes. I'm gonna press it down into your pot and it'll stick and you let it dry. Now, a technique to use on pots is burnishing, like I mentioned before, which is a technique using a rock to make the pot shiny. Here I have a pot that I made earlier and it is no longer wet. It is not completely dry like this pot. We don't want it hard like that. You see how hard that is? We want it in the middle of it drying like leather hard, where it's stiff but not rock hard. And to burnish, you take a stone, which is a shiny stone, and you rub your pot in circles. Always in circles, and we're not scraping clay. We are rubbing the rock on it, and it's barely any pressure behind it. You rub in circles all around your pot, and as you go, you'll notice the difference in the look of the burnished parts and the unburnished parts. So you do this on all of your pot, and you want to come back to it and do it again as it's drying. And once you have thoroughly burnished it, it will look like this, and you can get a gleam on it, as opposed to this. Thanks for tuning in. This was the third installment of Making Ceramics at Home with the Clay Project. Thanks so much. Peace.